Hey there Trekkies, my name is Michael aka the TrekLad and welcome back to my channel. I have just finished watching Star Trek Discovery's third season, third episode, People of Earth, and as always I have some initial thoughts on the episode. So yeah, another solid episode. I will say though that I'm somewhat confused. I'm not sure if this is my favourite episode of the bunch or my least favourite. Massively conflicted at the moment. There's a lot I liked in this episode, but there was also a lot that I didn't like. So let's get into this. What did I like about People of Earth? The first thing that we need to get out of the way is Captain Saru. It's happened. I am so happy about it. Captain Saru for life. What a great decision on the part of the showrunners. Captain Saru is a character that we've been it's a development that we've been waiting to see for a long time now, and it's happened. Michael Burnham will be the first officer, pretty much kind of restoring the status quo and the original mission, I guess, of the show. So really good to see that. I mean, Saru deserves it. One of the best characters, not only in Discovery, not only of modern Trek, but Trek in general. Saru is absolutely fantastic, and I cannot stop talking about how much I love Saru and the actor Doug Jones. So fantastic to see. I really liked the United Earth Defense Force and the kind of main A plot, I guess, with the Discovery arriving at Earth. Earth has become very isolationist, kind of pretty much on the nose with regards to the way world politics are going at the moment. But the thing is it kind of makes sense given what we have come to understand in this time. It's sad to see, and it gives the opportunity for some world building and some world repair, I guess. The United Defense Force really reminded me quite a lot of perhaps like the early Earth factions that we saw in First Contact, so kind of like the Eastern Coalition. And it kind of feels that not only has Earth become quite isolationist, it's become quite divided underneath that shield. So very interesting, and it gives the show, I guess, a lot of potential to explore multiple different factions operating on Earth and operating kind of in the local vicinity. Really liked it, and I really like the attitude that they've taken. You know, that this is a very different new world, very different new universe, and it's kind of shoot rather than talk. And the arrival of Discovery really helps change that, and it's very Trek the way this episode handles its core theme, and I absolutely loved it. I feel that this is probably the most like legacy Trek, although I hate using that phrase. It's the most legacy Trek Discovery has ever been, and I absolutely loved the show's insistence that we put down the weapons and we have a conversation, and I was there for it. Really loved it. A fantastic just addition to this show in this episode. I really loved the addition of Adira, a great new character. I really loved the initial scene with Tilly, very funny. The Trill revelation initially did confuse me because I was thinking back to TNG's fourth season episode, The Host, I believe, where Riker merges with a Trill symbiote and it doesn't go very well. So I just assumed that humans were not compatible. However, going back and educating myself, it turns out that it could just be the symbiote rejecting the host. So it works, and I'm very intrigued to see where we go with that. And it's great to see the Trill, a Deep Space Nine alien race reintroduced into Discovery. Very exciting. I also liked the Detmer situation, so the continuation of last episode and what's going on with Detmer. It's obviously a little bit, it was played down a little bit more given the fact that it was a busier show this week, but I like seeing what's going on there, and her, clearly suffering from some sort of PTSD, questioning orders on the bridge. I think it's opening the opportunity, it's opening up for these characters that we want to learn more about to get their own standalone episodes. So I really love that as well. I also really liked Michael Burnham's kind of new vibe. We kind of saw that at the end of the last episode. She feels a lot more she is human, but she feels a lot more comfortable, and she just has a different energy going about her. She seems a bit more laid back. Obviously the year that she spent with Book has worked quite well, but more on that in a minute. Obviously some other little bits that I absolutely loved. Anytime you see grunge on screen, sorry, not grunge, grudge. Anytime you see grudge on screen, absolutely there for it. Love that. Jonathan Frakes' direction, as always, fantastic. And I really liked some of the new bridge shots. One of my complaints, long-standing complaints, has been that you never really see enough of the bridge. They seem to be changing that. We got some lovely new shots. And Cake is eternal. Cake is eternal. And is it me, or is Discovery Season 3 perhaps the most meme-worthy show of the bunch so far? I'm loving it either way. Lots of new gifts for me to add to my collection, so that's great. Really, on the whole, it feels that Discovery is becoming a little bit more standalone. You have that overarching story, but these feel like episodes that I can pick up and enjoy at any time, and I am so happy with that. So far, really liking the way they're approaching the stories right now. Let's talk about some of the stuff that I didn't like so much, and I guess some of these are going to be just some nitpicks, but also there are some things that I guess they could have perhaps done a little bit better in terms of storytelling. I do have to just say right off the bat, and I know people didn't like it when I mentioned it last time, but it's just personal preference. I do not like Georgiou. I love Michelle Yeoh, like I said last week, and I feel like the fact that Star Trek has an actor of that caliber is incredible, but I don't like this character. I'm not sure why she isn't in the brig, constantly undermining the orders, becoming a very negative and toxic presence on the Discovery. I see what they're doing, and in a way, if I'm to go a little bit light on this, it does remind me a lot of the internal conflict that we had on Deep Space Nine. So internal conflict isn't exactly alien, but she's so annoying. She's so annoying, and just this constant undermining. She ultimately, however, she was responsible for helping resolve the main conflict of this episode, so there is that, but the way she's going about it, obviously very Terran Empire, but it's just not a character that I like a lot, and I'm hoping that Saru kind of just barks at her a couple of episodes later and she kind of starts relaxing a little bit more. There are rules on this ship, I guess. Another thing that kind of bothered me really is where was Jet Reno and Commander Nhan in this episode? Now, I appreciate that these characters are recurring characters. They're not going to appear every week because acting commitments and not being there every single week. However, we are establishing the fact that Discovery is a very close-knit crew. So for them not to be there does raise some questions. I would have liked to have seen them address this with perhaps some sort of throwaway line to explain that they're, either on an away mission somewhere, or perhaps they're stuck in a Jeffries tube trying to fix something from the previous episode. Just something like that. A quick 2-second line would have fixed that instead of this being, a bit of a glaring omission. I do have to moan about Burnham. It's not a massive moan, but it's just Burnham obviously comes back. She's breaking rules again, and all of it. It's fine though with Saru. Saru is clearly slightly annoyed and disappointed that Burnham is back and is breaking rules again, but immediately just makes her first officer anyway. It's just it makes sense in the context of the story why she was doing what she was doing with Book, but just having a conversation with Saru, it's really important that they're on the same wavelength, and I guess it's just something that I would like to see, perhaps people working together just a little bit better. I will say though that Burnham and Georgiou means that Saru really has his hands full, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that dynamic. I guess one thing with regards to Burnham I wish I'd seen is, I said it last week, is this time jump of a year feels too short, given the way her character is reacting to being back on the Discovery. It feels like she's been away for a lot longer, and they had the opportunity to say it'd been 3, 4, 5 years, and I kind of wish that they had done that. There wasn't really any reason why they couldn't have done that, and it would have allowed for perhaps a little bit more of a recontextualization of the character. So again, just a bit of a nitpick, but it should have been longer in my opinion. Again, Burnham and Book, the relationship dynamic with them kind of bothered me. I like it. I like the relationship dynamic that they've got, but I don't like this will they, won't they kind of thing that they've got going on, because we know that they will. We've seen the trailers, we've seen the footage, we know that they get it on. I don't understand why they're doing this. Is it, to generate some shipping in the community? But we know it's happening. We know it's happening. And I guess if I was doing this, I would have actually had the 5-year time jump, as I mentioned, and this couple would have been married. I would have introduced them as a husband and wife kind of team. So again, just a nitpick, it's how I would have done it. So yeah, that's how it is. Also, I wish we'd seen more of Earth in this episode, and I guess 900 years in the future I would have expected San Francisco to look a little bit different. We are 900 years in the future. If you look at where we are now and you go back 900 years, everything was very, very different. And I guess I just didn't feel a true passage of time. And also, we didn't really see much on Earth. We didn't see much, and appreciate that the story is running at breakneck speed, but I would have liked to have seen more of Earth, and I would have liked to have seen a world that was so alien. I appreciate why we got the tree scene, because it factored into Tilly, you know, feeling alone and isolated from her race, so it was important, but they could have done a lot more. Perhaps just removing the Golden Gate Bridge, or having that as a ruin or something, as an ancient kind of monument. It's 900 years, guys. Discovery also continues to be this kind of mystery show, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about a constant season mystery. It is serialized storytelling, I guess, and you need something to kind of move towards. I will say that the way we're progressing at the moment can sometimes feel a little inorganic. It's moving from plot point to plot point to plot point, and you know, other shows have been able to do this and feel a little more organic. I will say though that I do feel that Discovery is telling this story a bit better than we saw in Picard, where Picard kind of showed its hand a little bit and gave us the viewpoint of the antagonists, whereas Discovery is keeping its cards close to its chest, and I do appreciate that. So I guess the mystery show thing is just something that we have to kind of deal with now. And one more thing, it felt to me at times that some of the scenes in the show felt quite weird. Some of the line delivery was strange, particularly Stamets and Indira when they're having a conversation and they're revealing who they really are. It felt to me, and this might be harsh, but it felt to me like it was a commercial. It felt like a commercial. The line delivery felt weird. I'm not sure if it's the acting or the writing or the direction or perhaps a combination of all three, but it just felt strange, and a couple of scenes spread throughout the show felt a little strange, a little inorganic. But again, I'm not sure if it's just me. If you guys saw that, I'd be interested to get your thoughts. But there we go. That's it. There are my thoughts on Discovery Season 3, Episode 3, People of Earth. More to criticize this week, but I will say this, the good vastly outweighs the bad. This season is off to a solid start, and again, like I said earlier, I feel I can pick these episodes up far more easily than I have done in the past. So for that reason, I am giving People of Earth 3 Starfleet Deltas out of 5, the same I've given the previous 2 episodes, so off to a solid start, guys. What do you think of this episode of Discovery? Let me know in the comments below, and if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content similar to this coming every week. Until next time, live long and prosper.